Hey, what's going on, everybody? FullFrontage here, today bringing you a behind Brawl Stars video, and we're going to be talking about the map maker today, one of the most impactful features in the game. And to join me to talk about the map maker is Danny from the Brawl Stars team. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and welcome to my room. As you can see, we are not at the office anymore, so I'm recording from home. But thank you for having me. It was actually your suggestion to record a video about this topic, so really nice to be here.
Yeah, the reception for Supercell Make was absolutely incredible. The community loved that video, so I figured we'd continue with it and go with the map maker this time. So we'll start by talking about a little bit about the map maker. So the map maker is a feature that is in beta right now. So we're going to be talking about different features, how it started, what possibilities will be coming from the map maker. So be sure to look out in the comment section below so you guys can see which section might interest you the most. So the timestamps will be down there. So the first question I have is the map maker interface something very similar that Supercell uses to create maps when they're putting them in game?
Not the interface, because of course, like when we are doing a feature for players, we have to think on how can this be the most intuitive thing ever. Now for developers, we don't care so much because we can do like works around, and of course it has to be easy to improve our production or productivity, I mean.
Yeah, the interface with the one in game is so simple. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So next question is, if someone doesn't have a lot of friends to be able to get their map upvoted, do you have any plans to have different ways to publish apps in the future for people who can't necessarily get everybody on board to like upvote their map in time?
Yeah, so let me give like a bit of background on why you need like those friends to approve the map. So when we're developing the map, of course, like our biggest concern was naughty players that would create like naughty maps, and those will be straight out to public. And of course, like we do try to protect our players as much as we can. So with 10 friends approving it, at least we would block the most horrible things. Because even if you're like my friend, you'd say, "Hey, dude, you shouldn't publish that." So yeah, so that's like just like since we are in beta and we wanted to release this feature as fast as possible, then we put this kind of like a extra step, so we can prevent those very bad maps to be published. Although like there's very crazy ones still being published, but they are not like offensive or anything.
Yeah.
So in the future we do want to automate that, like maybe have like a check that if there is some nasty object there, then we can just block right away. But that takes time. So at the moment we are keeping the friends.
Gotcha. So it's more to prevent the kind of not safe for work type type things.
Yes.
Makes sense. Awesome. So the next question is, was the mapmaker tool meant to allow the community to be able to create various mini games within Brawl Stars, so that way it allows the team to focus on maybe different things behind the scenes?
Yeah, so I think like this is like something that the thing is also split with like super competitive maps and like mega crazy ones. But for me personally, when we create that, our goal, like our ultimate goal, was to give the tools for the community to dictate what they want with the game. So if we see that they are creating like crazy mini games and being super creative and like kind of like challenging how Brawl should be played, then we can maybe like go towards that path. So our initial goal was like giving the tools and see what they can make with that. And to be honest, I'm really pleased to see like those mini golf with Nanny, because we thought, oh, they were going to make like normal maps and that's it. But no, they do want to do something as crazy as they can.
Yeah, the naughty mini golf was really cool. I saw the clip on TikTok from Brawl Stars, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's so cool." So speaking of creative maps like that, will there be an availability for players to be able to download maps like that? So like if you guys see a map that you really like and you think is really cool, that you'll be able to like get a link for players. Is that something that's planned?
Yeah, I think so. Since the maps are saved on our servers, so then
Mhm.
theoretically they can be accessed by everyone, except the ones you save on your. When you make your own map, then it's saved only to you. But
Mhm.
once you publish it, should be available for everyone. So we do have like some kind of like the ground tech to make that happen. But the list of improvements is huge, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this is in the priority list yet, but it's something that we have in mind already. That should be easier for players to share maps, and then they need to be friends. Just like post on social media, and you take the code and you play the map, something like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be a really cool feature, and it's gonna allow like different mini games, and it like just it's also a great tool for content creators
Yeah.
to be able to say like, hey, create your maps, share it, and then we can have like a video of us playing this crazy mini game type thing. So that's really cool that it's definitely being looked at, and it's on that list of improvements for the map maker.
But just to be clear, I can't promise this is going to happen. I just can tell you that we are thinking about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think it would solve the problem that I think some players are they were requesting, because when you vote, you just vote for this specific map, but they would like to see like a list of maps they can play, or so I think it would solve also another problem where maybe we have like a very good map creator that doesn't have a voice because he can't show his map to the right people. He can just show to a bunch of random players. So maybe we can even like have like some superstars on the community that create really good maps, and they can just like post on Twitter, and then we share, and then they can know this player. And
so when you play a map, like this was a concern for Showdown as well. If you played a map and you lost immediately, it almost feels like there's a tendency to just downvote the map. And then there's the other side where it's like, well, I died so fast, but I didn't get to see the entire map. Is there a plan to improve like the voting system in that regard, whether it be like after the game you get to see the entire map as is?
yeah, I think maybe like adding like a minimap button in the battle log, something like that. But however, I got this comment before as well, and I think it's a matter of how you look at it. I think mathematically it doesn't really matter, because if this is a pattern that every time the first players lose they would downvote, then those votes can be actually ignored, because it's like a pattern that doesn't change. So only the other votes would matter. So it's just how you look at it. I think in that regard, I don't think it needs improvement, because like it's not a variable, it's a fixed number. But I agree that if you die and then you can't see the map, that's a problem. And it's of course on the mega list already.
All right, so the next question to kind of go inside with the voting is there a possibility where I haven't experienced this, but is there a possibility where you can play the same map twice in the competition entry slot?
Good question. Yes, there is a possibility, but only if all the other maps were played. So, so for example, imagine that let me try to explain how it works before, so I think it will be better. So the map maker, when we're going to like to the competition slot, it gives you a random map around like every 10 seconds or something. And once this map gets some votes, then he's kind of like get out of the rotation.
Okay.
However, if all the maps got some votes, like every map that has created has some votes, then they start from the beginning again. So the probability of playing the same map is almost impossible. First, because players can't even play all the maps created in one day. Like some maps are like postponed to the other week. And then the second is that the probability of you being the one that played that map in one day, and then at this very same moment you get like the very same map, I think it's very improbable. So
yeah, nothing like the first day when we all played.
Yeah.
Pony Swag's map.
What was the name again?
Oh my god, I can't remember the name, but it was Pony Swag who created it.
Yeah.
He was a Brawl Stars esports competitor.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
I think it was French for mad word or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a French name. That's funny. So kind of a follow-up question for that. For like, I have a map that's published, but I actually haven't. It actually hasn't gone into the rotation. Can you talk a little bit about, for people who have had their maps published but haven't seen, what the process is like after your map has been in the rotation?
Yeah. So as I said before, like it puts like every map in a queue, and then every map it's getting like its votes, and then it's always prioritize maps without any votes, so maps that are fresh. So if your map haven't been played or nobody voted on your map, it's just a matter of time. So it's just because as I said, there is too many maps for not many. It's not that there is not many players playing. It's just that there is a lot more maps than players.
Yeah, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but I remember it being posted on Twitter. There was like over 1 million maps created in like the first day of the map maker being pushed out, which is absolutely insane, because there's no way. I would think. Do you have an exact number of how many maps are put into the entry pool?
Not anymore. Frank would have it. Maybe you can ask him on Twitter.
Okay. So follow up, check on Twitter to see if there's anything.
Yes.
But I couldn't imagine that it would be more than 5,000 maps per day in the entry slot. So the fact that there were 1 million maps created, and let's just guess that there's about 5,000 put into an entry slot per day, that's a lot. And there's a really good chance that your map doesn't get played for a while. Is there like almost like a grandfathered process for maps who have been in the published set for some time? Do they get pushed to the top of the priority list over time?
Yeah, I think it takes the time it was created as a priority.
Okay, so if your map hasn't been played yet, don't worry, it'll get there eventually. But that's a good problem to have, because that means a lot of people are enjoying the feature. And then when your map gets played and processed, is there like feedback that you get from how your map did?
You do get the percentage of votes, so you get the ratio. You don't get like how many upvotes or how many downvotes you got, but you have the ratio. So like 59% of the votes were positive, something like that.
Gotcha. Is there like an average that for maps that get put into the 24-hour slot of the approval rating? Is there like an average number?
70% is the.
Oh wow!
Is the are usually the ones that getting.
It's really cool.
So
so it's like a high percentage.
So you so you can think that this shows that 70% of the players who play those crazy jump pad maps, they upvote that.
That's cool. Yeah, and speaking about like the crazy maps, I know there's a lot of controversy, especially on Twitter right now from the competitive side of the community, that talks about the troll maps versus like the people who want to try to have serious maps implemented into the game. Is there a possibility or a plan to try to introduce like a different voting system that's like this map is like a fun map, this map is a competitive map, and have different maps be filtered through different voting processes, and players can select whether they want to play like a fun goofy map or a serious competitive map?
Yes, we had some discussions about it, but also like, for example, fun is subjective.
Yes.
What is fun for you maybe is not fun for the one that made the jump pad madness. So um, our initial goal was like to, as I said, to give the tools to the community and they could guide us. So that actually opened our eyes, because it told that the community wants to have fun in those crazy maps. Otherwise, they wouldn't be winning time after time. So, but at the same time, we do hear from the competitive guys or the players that like to play a bit more seriously, that they would like to have the tools to create competitive maps. So we know the problem. We don't have the solution right now, but we understand the issue. I don't know if it's I don't know if the right way would be like to give the option to the player to decide what's competitive, what's fun, because for them it's very personal.
Right.
But maybe, as I said before, like if you have like the code to share maps, then for example Mordius or the guys that create those maps and make those map events competitions, I think then they can show like to the competitive guys, and the competitive guys could make a voting, maybe on social channels or I don't know, but at least like then we can we can have like a list of maps that players can judge without needing to play, or they can play of course with the code. So maybe because now the funnel we have, it's very intuitive, it's very simple. You play a random map, you vote, and that's it. What we don't want is like to put a lot of different steps, like when you're creating a map you have to vote, you have to pick if it's competitive or fun, and then when you're playing we don't want to add another slot that's only for competitive. Then it starts to get like a cluster. It's very messy. I think it's already long enough, the number of game modes we have at the moment. So yeah, we want to keep it very simple, and maybe we will add certain features that will sort this problem in different ways.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great way to look at it, because a lot of the people who see it from the other side don't necessarily think of like the extra steps for people. And another thing to consider from the community side is a lot of people aren't like super hardcore competitive trophy pushing. They like to play the game for fun. And like I push a lot of trophies. I want to try to push a lot of trophies, and I like to have competitive fun in the game, but I've really been enjoying like those goofy fun maps, and just like want to be able to play those. And as a follow-up question, is there any way that players' maps that get voted into the 24-hour slot might be implemented into the game fully under a different slot, or just in like friendly game rooms?
I think maybe not in friendly rooms or anything, but the goal is to I mean, one of the goals of course was to pick one of the 24-hour map and add to the normal rotation. So I think I will leak something now. But we have one that was in the 24-hour slot. It's going to the normal rotation. Yeah.
Ooh. Do we know what game mode?
I think it's easy to narrow, because like there wasn't a lot of very competitive ones, and of course we want a map that feels fair. So I think I will let this mystery for you guys, but I think it's very easy to know which one is. Yes.
Leave a guess down in the comment section below. Let us know which one you think it is. So for the next question, do you have plans to reintroduce other game modes that we've seen in the past, like um, Lone Star, Takedown, Present Plunder, and kind of allow people to have like those objectives when creating a map?
Um, Maybe not the ones that are not in the game. For example, Lone Star and Takedown. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think uh, the our priority is to add the ones that are in normal rotation now. So we are missing Siege still and Duo Showdown, and I think that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hot Zone.
Hot Zone, yeah, good call. And yeah, so then I would say that we will add those three first, and then maybe if the community demands for more, then we could add other game modes or maybe new ones that will come in the future, or I don't know. But yeah, I think because like we are in beta now, we are pretty much feeling how the community uses the feature, and then we are kind of adapting.
Okay. Are there any adaptions that you've noticed that you can share with us, kind of like what those adaptions or what the community is doing now will take the direction of the map maker?
I think what we are, the ones that we are doing now, the improvements that we're doing, it's more focusing on the automating the system that allows you to publish a map. So kind of to get trying to get rid of the friend. Well, I mean, you still should still have friends, but trying to get rid of their approvals. So yeah, I think people are working more on the back end on things the players can't really see.
Gotcha. And the next question, for custom objectives and like a little bit of a deeper intuitive progress to the map maker, like allowing adjustments to time frames, allowing like almost like a free-for-all, like I guess that's kind of like Lone Star, so but allowing more customizable features to, like, for Brawl, instead of having 2 goals be the cap, maybe it's a 5-minute game mode and you have to get 4 goals to win. Are there any plans to like increase certain caps that are in the game right now?
Yeah, I think that it could be a bit easier. Like we asked that to our game designer, and then he said like since the game mode they were developed and designed to have those rules, if we start like breaking the rules, then we have like to kind of like remake the whole mode again, kind of like develop all over again, because it's not like, okay, instead of 2 goals now it's 3. It's not like just changing a number. So he said it's kind of tricky. But yes, I like the concept, and even further than that, I would love if we just give like the tools to players create their own modes, not like trying to change like gen grab or brawl, but I don't know, maybe you can put like a ball with gen grab and you have to score while you have to collect gems and kill the others like in bounty. So yeah, I would like players to use the tools to maybe create like the next Dota or League of Legends in our game. I guess that's the very long shot, the very what we are aiming for with this feature. But of course, like the community has to they need to show us that if at some point like 3 months from now nobody creates map anymore, then maybe it's telling us a message that maybe they don't want to be that crazy. But we have that in the back of our minds. We already like discussed the development time for that, but it's something that we still need the kind of like the approval of the community. We need to see the numbers if it's working. We don't want to. I think that's a bit too risky to just go like all in with the map maker, because it takes a lot of time to develop those things.
Yeah, I mean, no exact numbers, but is the way that the community is leaning towards now with the map maker, is it more promising that for the dev team that there is a possibility for map maker to be here for a long time and continue to invest time in it?
Yeah, I think they are leaning to. We've just discovered like a huge number of players that probably were never here before, because we are only like paying attention and listen to our social channels like Twitter, Reddit, and such. But we never like gave them the tools to express themselves in the game. So now like the crazy maps being like the ones that people are playing more, it's telling us that there was like a demand. People were demanding for like those fun and non-competitive maps. So I think we are leaning towards that area. And of course, like that doesn't mean we are okay, no competitive anymore. Let's just go full
Right.
crazy. But at least it kind of like open our minds a bit that there's like a lot more different kinds of players playing our game.
Has playtime increased with the map maker being introduced?
Yes, yeah, retention went up, and players spending more time in the game because probably they are creating maps as well. And I would like to show. I was actually trying. I wanted to post that on Twitter because I don't know what map was that, but it was one of the jump pad madness one for showdown. And then we had like graph of players playing showdown like on a normal basis, and then the crazy map was in, and then it had a huge spike of players playing that over and over again. So it wasn't like, oh, I want to see what's that. It was literally players playing the map again. Like, so they were trying. So it's telling us that maybe we should go towards the path of like breaking the game rules, trying to make more fun, like giving more possibilities to the players for them to create their own game modes or own rules, whatever.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Like a couple ideas that I would love to see, and if this does get implemented into the game, I hope the community creates stuff like this, like a gem deposit. So like in Siege, you have to deposit the bolts to spawn in the Siege bot. But what if it was like you had to deposit the gems, and you're not holding the gems, so if you die, you don't lose the gems. You're depositing them into a bank, and like almost like a combination of heist, you can destroy the safe and capture all the gems that the other team kept. So it kind of goes inside with like the combination of the different modes, collecting the gems, depositing it like it's Siege, and then heist, destroying the safe to recapture the gems, and you have to hit a certain point to win. And there's just so many different creative things that the community will be able to come up with. And that's going to kind of lead into the next question is, with that, is there going to be more game mode slots introduced, and how does that look with the current game modes?
Good question. I think I don't have an answer for that. Yeah, I don't know what would happen with if that was something we had in the game.
Yeah, because I know, like for example, Fortnite with they had like the creative island eventually, because so many people were just coming up with different things. Would there be like a separate section, do you think, or would the team be more focused on just like slowly kind of rolling it out and just taking like one map at a time?
Yeah, I guess it depends on, again, like how the community behaves. Like if they are claiming to play more crazy maps more than we offer them, I guess we can, if that's what the community wants, and we see the data, we see the results, then I guess we can like adapt the game to have like a mode, like the map maker could be a bigger thing, not just like a small slot in the game, but like you go into the map maker and then you see like the list of maps, and or you like vote already on that list. So I don't know. I think it's something that we have to discuss and think about, because I don't know what would we do.
Yeah. So for my final question, we talked about earlier that the ability to like give like map codes out. Would there be an option for players to be able to share maps and download it for themselves to be able to play and reintroduce? Because what I'm thinking is like along the lines of like community tournaments, is like having players submit maps and then have whoever's hosting the tournament being able to download those maps and share it with the players competing in the tournament. Or is it just going to be like there's no plan to have players download and save maps and be able to play in friendly rooms? Is it just going to be solely a code possibility?
Yeah, maybe not downloading then, but yeah, I see the possibility of having a code that refers to your map and you type that code somewhere and then you can play the map right away. I see that as a possibility, but maybe downloading it, maybe that's not what we have in mind. I guess it would be just maybe a bit clunky. We want to be like as more as intuitive as possible, so a code I think it's enough.
Right. Okay, so it would be like you join a friendly room and it would be like enter map code. Obviously not official, but just kind of what is being ideated here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ideas that even Ryan mentioned very frequently. So I have no idea what's the prioritization now at the moment, but I think this one should be one of the highest.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the community about the map maker, things to look forward to? I know we talked a little bit about some leaks of a map coming in, but
I guess as like for us, like personally, when we had the idea, we knew that the first maps will be super crazy, because we are just giving the tools for the community to do whatever they want. So for us, it wasn't like a big surprise that the jump pad map won on for Showdown. And I think it's just as it was like a eye-opener for us. I think I would say the same to the community, like to look with different eyes, because it's not that the voting is not working. Is because there was a demand, there was lots of casual players that were never heard before, and now they can express themselves. So that's why you see those maps like being played over and over again and being voted and winning. So I think it's I guess like the humanity haven't like learned how to vote properly. Like I think history has been proving that. But I think they just want to have fun. So we do have like competitive maps every day for the players that want to play in competition. But now I think it's a good time to let these players that were never heard before to have their time to enjoy the map maker. And I think also they will be learning over time. Like at some point, I believe someone will get tired of using teleports. Like I just think that's at some point, like okay, I had enough. I'm going to just make normal and very mundane maps for now on. I think it's also like the feature itself. If we just give them the tools, the players will adapt and will start to create different things, because they will get they would just get tired of the ones that they played over and over again.
Yeah, definitely makes sense, and it's super exciting to see how the community is responding to this. It seems like the map maker is doing really well, and I'm very excited for the future of the map maker. So for my final question, when should we expect more news about the map maker? Or is that nothing we can tease about yet?
It's kind of tough because now we want to collect data. We don't want to keep adding stuff. Maybe we can add like a dual showdown if we have the time, because it's a very popular mode. But now we want to see what the community, how the community uses this feature, and we are going to focus on something else. So I would give.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anything soon, it would just be adding existing game modes to allow people to create maps on.
Nothing super crazy or.
Awesome. Well, Danny, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me about the map maker, and it was a pleasure to talk with you again.
Thank you for having me and for proposing that topic. And if you players and if you FullFrontage want to maybe discuss about something else, then drop a comment there on the video and let's see what you guys have interest about.
Yes, I will be reading comments. Danny will probably be reading some comments on this video, and if there's anything that's missed, I will make sure to send it to Danny so it does get visibility. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you would like to see any more, if you guys have any more ideas about what you would like to see with behind Brawl Stars, let Brawl Stars know on Twitter, let Danny know on Twitter. Leave some ideas down in the comment section below. We love creating these videos for you guys. It's really awesome to get a little bit of an inside look on what's happening in the community. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more content, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night.